And Jen, you spent decades in management of lots of different retailers. What kind of carnage do you think we're going to see when Courtney starts talking about these different types of either bankruptcy or liquidation? What can we expect?
Well, Becky, you know, last year we saw about 10,000 stores closed and about 19 significant retail bankruptcies. And it was a good year. So this year, of course, with people closed and no cash flow, I've been saying that even though we think there's been about 3,000 permanent store closures so far this year, that there'll be 30,000 as soon as stores start trying to reopen. So we could see 40 bankruptcies easy, and they will start immediately when the store openings start. And, you know, the First Mall is trying its soft reopening right now, well, today, a little later today, in Omaha, Nebraska. It's Nebraska Crossing Mall. So we haven't had one reopen yet. We're about to. So we'll start to see what happens. And what's going to happen, of course, is we're going to see about 50% of normal traffic if we're lucky. And that's still not going to be enough to start saving retailers. We have to get those numbers back up a lot as far as traffic goes. And we're not sure anybody really wants to buy sweaters and slacks, especially 3-month-old sweaters and slacks, a lot of which is in the store right now. So I do think we have a real problem coming. I think that tsunami that someone mentioned is real. We're going to see a lot of bankruptcies, both in restaurants and in retailing. And that's inevitable. I mean, if there are 600,000 plus restaurants, we could see 100,000 close. If there are 500,000 stores, we could see 30,000 close pretty quickly. And we could see 50 or 60,000 in the short term.
Jan, what sectors do you expect to get particularly hit hard? You mentioned apparel a couple of times. Is that one of the tougher businesses right now?
Well, if you're in the mall, you're going to get clobbered, right? So we're already worried about Penny's. Macy's is going to make it, but, you know, see what they're going through, a big reborrowing to get healthy enough to make it through to the other side. Nordstrom's is going to make it, but Macy's is going to close 125 stores that we know of and probably 200 stores now that we're into this mess with the coronavirus. So we'll see that go across the mall. And then inside the mall, we could see 20% of the stores not reopen in a lot of the malls. And as I say to you all the time, we have 278 great malls. The bad news is there's 1,000 malls. And so we're going to see real problems in the rest of those malls. And it's going to come because people like the Gap aren't going to reopen all their stores. And that's going to be true inside the mall for most of the major retailers. They're going to look at it and say, anything that I think is not going to make it longer term, I might as well close it now. Most people, less than half of the people, paid rent April 1st. Nobody's planning on paying rent May 1st. So if you're not open, you're not paying rent because you just don't have the cash flow to do it, which puts an enormous pressure on the malls themselves. We'll see a lot of malls fail. I've been saying to you forever that we're going to see 300 malls fail. Now I think we could see 400 or 500 malls fail over the next year. And I think that's just a result of no cash flow coming in for either the retailer or the mall operator.